I will call the Ayer Board of Assessors meeting scheduled for Wednesday, November 17th to order at 2:05 PM. First up, we have a review and approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve.
Chair will second. All those in favor of approving the agenda as written, please say aye.
Aye.
And the chair says aye. Next up, we have our prior meeting minutes for review. Nick, have you had a chance to go through them?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I just had one potential edit to make. Over under the new business, which is page 3 in your packet.
Yes.
I think I pulled this into executive session, not Ed. That's my recollection, but I didn't write down. I went back through my notes. It's usually the chair will nudge in.
Okay, thank you. Because yeah, I get it. I'll amend the minutes, and when Mr. Cornelia comes in to sign, they'll have the correct person who made the motion.
Did you have any changes, Nick?
Nope, no, I'm fine, thanks. I make a
All right, then I'll-
motion that we approve the minutes with that one change.
Chair seconds. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And the chair says aye. Motion carries. Now I'll turn it over to you, Thomas.
We have executive session minutes also. Did it?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. This is what I get for saving paper by printing on 2 sides. I miss pages.
And mine printed on 2 sides too.
I did read them though this morning. Personally, I have no changes. How'd they look to you, Nick?
They're fine. Yep.
Okay. I guess then all those in favor of approving the executive session minutes with, again, that one change, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye. The motion carries 2-0.
Thank you. Now, just to be clear, John, you made the initial motion to go into executive session at that meeting?
Yeah, so it'd be the same change in both the regular
Okay,
session,
gotcha.
kind of ending it and opening
Okay,
executive.
So it would be approval of the minutes as amended, the motion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Moved and carried.
Are we good?
Yeah, Tom, if you'd like to take the
Yeah, I'll
driver's seat.
just give you a brief update on today's meeting. We do have an executive session, agenda item 9. We have an exemption application that we need to discuss. I don't know if I'm prepared to ask the board to vote on it. I just wanted it's a new filing, and I just wanted the board to be aware of the property we're talking about, and get your input on what you think. And agenda item 4, Barbara Taney, the treasurer / collector for the town of Ayer, is going to do a little informational session on land of low value parcels for the board. She's been working hard on this. She understands it a lot better than I could even pretend to understand, and hopefully she'll be able to explain it to you, because ultimately it's going to require board signatures on the forms that Barbara needs to submit. So I'll let her take over in a second. The only other issue I have is agenda item 5 is revaluation update, and I do see that Ed Orr has joined our meeting. I actually exchanged emails with Ed the last couple of weeks on the revaluation, but very good emails. Ed brought up a lot of good points, but I don't know if Ed's here to observe, or whether he would like to speak directly to the Board of Assessors and myself. But what I would say is, once we get to agenda item 5, the FY22 revaluation, if Ed wants to speak on that, he's certainly welcome. So it's okay with the board.
Absolutely.
Thank you. In any event, I'll turn it over to Barbara Taney.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Hi, nice to meet all of you.
You too.
So I did what's called a land of low value filing with the Department of the Department of Revenue, then the DLS. What it is if a piece of land that's in tax title is under, it's right around $23,000 or less, we can use this method of foreclosure or sale of a property that's been in tax title. They're usually little slivers of land that nobody wants and have let go, or they're landlocked. So I did file for 5 land of low value foreclosures, 3 of which have recently been approved. They are in your packet, and the forms that Tom has do require a wet signature on them. And if you have any questions, but first let me explain, once we sign the paperwork, I'm also going to receive an affidavit from the attorneys at the DLS that basically says they authorize this process to happen. They have vetted the properties and the documents that I submitted. And once these steps happen, we have 2 years to perform a public auction, which we do have to advertise, to try to attempt to sell the properties. If they do not sell at the first public auction, we are required to hold a second public auction within the 2 years. If at that time a property does not sell, it becomes the town's.
And Barbara, I'm curious, just in terms of the public auction, is there a minimum number of bids or anything we need?
So this is my first time doing this. So what I've decided to do is enlist my tax title attorney. And
Mhm.
generally, the auctions I have done, there's not usually a minimum number of bids, but we do usually advertise a minimum bid amount, and we can choose to sell them as a group or individual properties. And people usually do have to pre-register to attend the auction.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
So if nobody bids on them, the town takes over?
Yes, so I have to hold the auctions, the first auction, and if any of the 3 properties do not sell, we have to hold a second one. And then at that time, if they do not sell, the town becomes the owner.
Okay.
And I will tell you, the 3 properties that we're signing off on right now, their values are right around between $2,000 and $2,700. They're very small. One is landlocked. As far as my knowledge goes, I don't see them as being buildable. So usually if you have an abutter, somebody who, is next to the property, you might have somebody who's interested in these, but I don't see them as being of too much interest.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, they all look small.
Yeah. The tax amount, the annual tax amounts are right around $50 to $55 for all 3 of them. And the 3 that got approved anyways. And so I do know of one interested party for one of them because it was landlocked and it's just in a butter that might be interested. I know that because they approached me well prior to doing this process. So I will contact them specifically so they can attend. And if anyone else is interested, if they want to give me a name and contact information, that way, if they're worried about missing the advertisements, I'd be glad to do the same for anyone.
Gotcha.
And that's it. So I don't have any dates planned on when the auction's going to happen. I'm waiting on the signed and notarized affidavit from the DLS. And once I receive that, I'm going to contact the tax title attorney and start the process.
Interesting.
If I may cut in,
Sure.
Barbara has left the original documents with Jacqueline in the office. So at some point, each of the board members, when you're downtown shopping, just shoot in and
Yes.
put a signature on them for us. So gotta have originals.
Okay, I'll put a note on my calendar. I'm gonna forget. Okay,
Thank you.
will do.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions or anything else I can help with?
No, not me. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Barbara.
All right. Thank you. Guys have a nice afternoon.
You too, thank you.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye.
I think right, we're back to me. That brings us to page 11 in the documents. The agenda item 5, the FY22 revaluation update. I'll just do a brief update to a certain point, and then again, if Mr. Orr wants to speak, that'd be fine too. But if you remember, last we met was on October 20th, and the day before we had been granted preliminary certification of our revaluation by the Department of Revenue, which authorized us to engage in we're required to engage in the public disclosure process, which is essentially putting a notice on the town's website with a link to the proposed property values and invite any taxpayer comments or input on the new valuations. The notice also went out on Facebook and Twitter, I believe, and I put a report of the new valuations down at the town library. So the public disclosure process began November 3rd on a Wednesday, and it ended on November 10th. So we're through our public disclosure process, and we were yesterday granted final certification of our revaluation by the Department of Revenue. And consequently, that frees us up to hold the classification hearing on December 7th. So the revaluation's done, it's complete, it's certified, and we're on to classification and preparing tax bills, which is good news. Mr. Orr, did you want to add anything at this point? He might just be listening to the meeting, but I'll just continue. It's okay with the chairman.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring this up during new business, but I'll ask now. Did you receive much of the way of feedback? I know.
No, generally on the disclosure, you don't. It's I did on page 11, I included a copy of the disclosure notice in your packets. And, the requirement to explain what you did, why you did it, and general impact. But the problem with new valuations is, a 9% increase in the average single family home value does not mean taxes are going up 9%. Generally speaking, when values come up, tax rates drop, and the net impact on taxes is not determined until the tax classification hearing. But generally speaking, you really don't get much action on the disclosure process. Where you do hear from people is when we have a new tax rate and we issue the third quarter bills, and people can put a tax amount with the valuation. And then if there's an issue, we definitely hear from those people. And that is the time, once the third quarter bills are issued, taxpayers have until February 1st to file an abatement application with the Board of Assessors if they think their value is too high for whatever reason. And that's at this point, I would encourage anybody listening in to do is when you get your bill, file the application, and the sooner you get it in, the sooner I'll look at it, and then we can decide whether we think the assessed valuation is valid. So.
Gotcha.
But overall, single family homes are up 9%, condominiums 8%, multifamily homes 14%. Those are 2 and 3 family homes. Apartment properties 7%, commercial property 5%, and industrial property 3%. So it's significant increases, and even looking ahead to next year, we're seeing the same kind of thing happening in the market. But
Kevin, that Oh, Ed's phone. Go ahead.
Hey, Ed.
Hi, Nick. I'm sorry. A neuron just fired, so I shut off the blower and leaf blower and came in. Apologize.
If you
good
do it
to
in my
see
yard,
you.
it's A-okay.
Maybe later. Sorry. What page are you guys on here?
We were on page 11.
We're
Ed.
on page 11.
Oh, my. Okay.
I can get you up to speed after the meeting on what you missed. If,
Okay. I apologize. That doesn't help. Okay, page 11. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just explained that we got preliminary certification on October 19th, which allows us to have the public disclosure, which ran from November 3rd to November 10th. And yesterday we got notice from Department of Revenue that we've received final certification, so that now we can go ahead and hold the tax classification hearing on December 7th. And I just summarized the disclosure notice summarizes the increase: 9% on the average single family home, 8% residential condominiums, 14% on 2 and 3 family homes, apartments 7%, commercial properties 5%, and industrial property 3%. So that's all been certified by the Department of Revenue, which is good. Total taxable valuation of the town for FY22 is up 8% over last year. So the market is strong, and the new valuations reflect that reality. I did submit a couple of forms through the DLS gateway to the Department of Revenue relating to the new valuations. One is called the LA4 report, and it's the assessment classification report for FY22. That's on page 12 of your packet. And it basically just lists the number of different types of properties that we have in the corresponding sum total of the market value. So property type 101 is single family home, and you got 686 of those for this tax year, totaling $674,079,900. And bottom line is the total real and personal property valuation for FY 22 is $1.461 billion. So again, those valuations were certified by the Department of Revenue. And the other report that I have for you relative to certification is the LA13 report, which is the growth report. This is the, if you remember, growth valuation is new taxable valuation, whether it's, real estate or personal property or utility valuation. You know, new homes, new personal property accounts, reinvestment and utility property, and this has also already been approved, but we added $32,907,970 in growth valuation for FY22, and resulting in additional tax levy dollars of $760,824. So we had a pretty good year growth wise, and a lot of that's attributable to utility growth, which is what we've been seeing the last few years. A lot of growth is really coming out of the residential sector or the utility sector, but they've both been approved. And so if it looks good to the board, it's it would be like to just have a motion to approve the LA4 form and the LA13 form.
So
Just
moved.
one question on the LA13, Tom.
Yes, sir.
If we theoretically had any land changing purpose, that would go here too, right? Like if someone had a forest exemption, then they wanted to subdivide it, would go here.
Yeah, that would actually be
Something like
growth valuation. Yeah, even like an exempt property that goes from exempt to taxable. The bulk of ours is new homes for the residential part of it, new condominiums, and new lot splits where they create, 20 lots out of a single parcel. And, all that new valuation is, called growth valuation.
Okay, that makes sense.
Could I ask, I think what you were looking at, John, probably is it where it says vacant land and there's 3,462,000.
Exactly. Yep.
So all that was subdivision. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we
Thank
had
you.
Curly Circle, we had Shaker Pond Road.
Yep.
And a couple other things going on. Yeah, it was, and we've got more stuff coming on for next year in terms of new subdivisions. One up across from the high school, I believe, has already been approved. And yeah, the residential real estate market is king right now. So seeing a lot of new homes, a lot of new lots. So in any event, did we complete that motion? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry, I spoke over Nick. Do you want to finish your motion, Nick? Sorry.
I so moved.
Second the
So we-
motion.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And the chair says aye. The motion carries to approve.
Thank you. On page 14 and 15, I included the email from the Commissioner of Revenue granting the town final certification. This goes to the town manager, and looks like it went to the Board of Assessors directly on your town emails. But this is the final document that we've worked all year to see, granting us final certification. And on page 2, just need to keep in mind, because the Department of Revenue does not forget these things. They'll put down directives for the FY27 revaluation, which seems like 100 years from now, but it'll probably be here sooner than you think. And they've listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items that they'd like to see addressed prior to actually by the time we FY27 rolls around. So nothing out of the ordinary. It's probably what most cities and towns get after certification. But going forward, budget wise and planning wise, you sort of have to keep these directives in mind, because you don't want to wait 5 years and then have someone from the Department of Revenue, your certification advisor, tell you that, ask you how you've done on your directives from the last revaluation. And if our answer is what directives, then I think we're already in trouble. So in any event, that's all I have for the FY22 revaluation. Again, if Mr. Orr wants to.
Yeah, can you hear me, by the way? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Oh, finally got it all figured out. Sorry about that. I used to work for a computer company, but since I don't have the need to do that, I put away my headset, my USB connection and all that. So while you're doing this, I'm going feverishly. The other thing, by the way, usually when I'm in chat, on the right, there's a chat window that you could type things in there. That's all disabled. So I've been feverishly trying to hit you there too, and that didn't work. So just let you know that just because somebody doesn't get if your technology isn't working on your end too. You know what I'm talking about on the chat window? On the right? Okay. Mine says chat disabled. So I couldn't even say, oh, hi. So anyhow, but if it's okay for me to speak, I apologize interrupting, because actually at the time I'm still testing and obviously I am talking.
Yeah, Ed, if I may interrupt.
Go ahead.
Just so you know, we're held to an hour on these Zoom meetings, so can't give you a ton of time, but
well, let me.
just keep in mind that we gotta move on after
Okay.
this. So,
if I can speak, then I'll try to not ramble and go through it. But this is some of the things that I don't think that the town is understanding or missing. And this has been a rude awakening for me because, well, I retired. I'm 71 years old. And not that the 71 is a big deal, but during the time up until now, when I got these bills and I see this tax increase, which is my whole pension is going to go to just pay my property taxes, I'm pretty sure. And when I was working, I didn't have to worry about that. Matter of fact, as I sent an email to you, there were times my taxes doubled, but I'm working and it just went over my head and I didn't worry about it. But once you become a senior citizen on fixed income, and my income is less than $400 pension and Social Security, reality hits in. So having said that, and the thing that bothers me is that in the town of Ayer, there is so little, and I've tried to get discounts. The only break I get is on a dump sticker and a dog license. Nothing else that I could do to get anything. So there, I think the town needs to reevaluate what the rules are or break points are for senior citizens. And what I worry about, what I was telling you about for my assessments to go up 14%, because you're telling me I'm in Groton Harvard Road. Groton Harvard Road starts at Central, and somebody that's like me who's close to Central doesn't have the same valuation as a half mile away. If you're in town, you could be like a block away, and I'll bet you guys give consideration to a certain areas. To say Groton Harvard Road, if you're on certain Groton Harvard Road and somebody sells a house and it's a lot more than you thought it would be, you're penalizing somebody who is an older house and has been here. But again, that's too much of a distance to be relevant. Like I say, I was telling you is that my house is like 150 years old. And when you have newer constructions and newer houses being sold, it is impossible. Well, it would be cost prohibitive because I got balloon framing. I have, tar paper in under the siding. I mean, I can try to tighten up and do things, but for me to bring my house up to the value of a newer house would cost me, I don't know, $50,000+. And to have my property taxed because theirs is that much up, it just makes no sense to me. The other thing that bothers me, what's going on in the town here with valuations, things like that. We'll just say my wife, I'm okay because I go jogging, this and that. She's having trouble even getting up and down the stairs now. So I can't even use my house to what I want. So what do? Do I sell? Do I try to add on? I can't afford that. I contacted the town to see if I can even drop in a modular house, and then at least I can then rent my house and have some cash flow. And you don't even allow that. So, it just boggles my mind. And it happens again with me because, like I say, all of a sudden my eyes are open that this town doesn't even have any options for people. For those of us on, like I say, fixed income. And that's really, about it because, and also, well, one last thing, I was curious about these houses that are selling surprisingly higher. That can be just temporary, that, in that the times of so different and off kilter, people are kind of panic buying. And if you raise my houses up to where they're at, so what happens when the bubble breaks? We're stuck with where we're at. I apologize for rambling on and all that, but if you got any questions there, go for it. But I am just so dismayed.
All right. May I say something, Mr. Chairman?
Please go ahead.
Thanks for that, Ed. Again, your value went up 14%, but that doesn't mean your taxes are going up 14%. That won't be.
Well, let me interrupt you there because that bothers me a lot. There were times that I emailed you, and again, these were times I didn't really even worry about it, where my taxes doubled. And when you say the value may not go up, when you go up 14%, and it's sort of like getting a raise, and they say, well, we're going to give you a 10% raise, but you don't make anything, so big deal, it's $100 in your paycheck. But now the value of mine, I'm up to the point where, like I say, you're going to get my whole pension. And even if you say what you just said doesn't make a lot of sense because the value is going to go up, and the rate adding, if it's based on a 14% increase. I know what I'm paying in taxes now. You could just give me minimal tax increase. It's sort of like that raise thing. If you're making a lot of money, you get a little percent of a raise, you can make some good money. My house is right now to the point where when I know I'm paying in taxes now, and I think it's around $4,000. So you can give me a little minimum amount, even if it goes up 10% or something like that, you're going to chew up a big increase of what my disposable income is. So it doesn't really, it's really not the way you think of it, and or I could be wrong. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, that's fine. And again, I'd encourage you, when the bills go out, third quarter bills go out the end of December, you know how to get a hold of me. Get a hold of me right away, and I'll come out and I'll inspect your property.
Well, that bothers me too, because do you inspect everybody's property? Because if you don't, I'm telling you, my house is 150 years old. Right now, I hired painters, paying 10 grand for that because I'm too old and my wife won't let me get up on a ladder anymore. So you can inspect that. So if I paint something and make it look good, you don't know what's underneath that. When I tell you that a 150-year-old house doesn't have the structure that the other one has, there's just a lot of things you're not going to see. I could pretty something up and you can say, yeah, this is nice. It looks very nice. But in reality, it's really not, it's not always that. So
Well,
what I want you in here, I worry that I open up the door. This sounds like a silly thing. Trust me. When I say trust me, I apologize. What I'm saying is that I have been putting off a lot of things and I've been doing a lot of cosmetics just because it's easier to do. I had put things off to when I'm retired. And now that I'm retired, I want things to do like, updating furnaces, insulation, but you're not going to see that stuff. So that's my point about having an old house versus a new one. People who have the new houses don't have to worry about the infrastructure within that house.
okay, again, Ed, just contact me when you get the bill and we'll talk about it.
All right. But for that evaluation, that really is my thing. When I say, you said I'm on Groton Harvard Road, that's so diverse. That blows me away that you would do that.
Okay, thanks, Ed. I'll be talking to you end of December, early January.
I'm thinking so because I know what I'm paying now, and I'm kind of freaking out. But I'll settle down.
Okay, thanks for your input, Ed. I'll be talking to you.
All right.
Got anything you want to add, anybody on the board? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Just one thought I had, I don't know if Mr. Orr's familiar with the senior program or not here in town, but seniors who want to volunteer, not volunteer, but who want to put some time in a town hall can get a break on their property tax, the amount of time they put in. I believe that program is run through the town manager's office, sir. I'm not positive, but I'm familiar with it to some degree.
Well, that how do I say this? Like I say, I went through my tax increases when they doubled a couple of times, and they did beyond previous valuations. We're talking some real money. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get $1,000 or more for doing that. You know what I'm saying? If you can give me a ballpark figure, what could a senior expect to do to get off his taxes? And if it's a grand or two, then I'll look into that. But I'm thinking we're not talking real money.
Ed, I can have Kevin Johnston is the administrator of this program, so I could put Kevin in charge of you. He knows all of the details.
Well, you see, my
He'll
point
be able
is
to give you
here.
better information than I would on this.
Yeah. Well, what I said earlier is that the only discount I get is because, I did make a good salary. So I thought I could live on my Social Security, which was naive. So like I say, anytime I apply for anything this time, the only break I got is a dump sticker and a dog license. The thresholds for seniors in this town, and I don't know why, I can't be the only one, is to do that work and get that. I could go back and get part-time job and make some money, but like I say, I'm 71 years old, and it took me a half hour even to connect up to you, which is kind of sad. anyhow, I don't have, what did I just say? This, I'm going to repeat again, but I have no faith that what I've seen in anybody working for the town, you're talking as percentage of what you're going to be able to pay down on or get on the taxes is minuscule. Sorry about that.
All right, well, I'll send you what I can find out on the senior work program, Ed, and any statutory exemption that you might be eligible for, so.
Well, I've checked into all the exemptions and like I say, they don't exist for, I think that's one of the things that maybe the town ought to think about is reevaluating what senior discounts we give, what means do they have and what resources and just like even this CPA just blows me away. We could triple my taxes on that. And everybody thought that, there's no good senior exemption that you're going to get on that. So you keep raising the taxes, they all add up.
Actually, Ed, you can apply to be exempted from the Community Preservation Act surcharge every year, so.
I have looked into it and I make too much on Social Security and that I make too much.
I'll look into that.
Look into
Look
it.
into that.
You'll find out that the threshold is very low. And I do think that the town ought to start considering about when you have elections on these things, if people can't get out to vote, and there was no remote voting at that time, that you ought to step back and say, maybe we ought to defer this because there's a segment of the population like seniors are not going to be able to get out and go vote because they have to do it in person. Because that we're in that high risk group. And it does scare a lot of people. It didn't, I'd say it almost scared me and I didn't vote because it isn't worth the risk.
All right, thank you, Ed.
All right, sorry.
Agenda item 6 is the motor vehicle excise reimbursement report for FY21. This is something I get an email from DLS that this hadn't been submitted yet. So I worked with Jacqueline and we put it together a couple of weeks ago. Essentially, disabled veterans that meet certain requirements, we can abate their automobile excise tax in full. The state will reimburse cities and towns for that amount on each of these if we submit this report on the DLS Gateway annually. So we submitted this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people were granted exemptions of their excise tax under this statute, and all I'd like for the board is just a motion to approve the MVE reimbursement report for fiscal year 2021.
I'd make a motion that we pass the motor vehicle exemption reimbursement for fiscal year 2021 as presented.
Seconded.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And the chair says aye. The motion carries.
Thank you. I want to say Jacqueline prepared the motor vehicle and trailer excise abatement report for October, but I actually did it this time. So she posted the abatements. I created the report, but in October, Jacqueline posted 17 abatements totaling $1,042.90. So if it looks good to the board, a motion to approve the motor vehicle and trailer excise abatement report for the month of October 2021.
So moved.
We've got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion to second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And the chair says aye.
Thank you. And I have the assessing department report for the month of October 2021. It's already been submitted to the town manager's office, but obviously I like to see, like the board to see it, and if it looks good to you, motion to approve the monthly report for October 2021 and authorize submission to the town manager's office.
I have got no edits.
Thomas, can I ask a question on the
Sure,
second one? It talks about the September building permits were incorporated. Does Charlie Schultz still submit those to you like on a monthly basis?
Oh,
as they're
yeah.
submitted-
Yeah, he's
submitted to
really
him?
good with it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's not only is he good getting us the permits and the summary reports, if I have any questions about a permit or what's going on or what kind of construction, he always gets right back to us. So yeah, he's been real good with that stuff. So, but yeah, if that's part of our requirements, the building permits come down from the building inspector's office. We have to sort them, decide which ones may impact property value, and go and inspect the changes and record the change in our database and, you know, that type of thing. So, yeah, business as usual, Mr. Cornelia.
Okay, very good. I thank you. Are you
Did we
looking
get
for a
to-
motion on
Yeah,
this?
just a motion to
Yep.
approve the monthly report and authorize submission to the town manager's office.
So moved.
Seconded.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor for approving the assessing department report, please say aye.
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 The chair says aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. I believe we have executive session now.
Yeah. Let's see, the chair will make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, for the purpose of discussing exemptions and abatements. We'll do a roll call vote to enter executive session. After executive session, we will resume regular session for the purpose of new business and adjournment. Let's see, Member Lagus, what say you to entering executive session as outlined?
Yes.
And Member Cornelia?
Yes.
Chair Kilcommon says aye. We are now entering executive session. That's a good point, Ed. When, are anyone taking any vacations or anything in December as we try to figure out when to have the next meeting?
Not I.
You want to do a Christmas Day, Ed?
I'll be here, but I'd rather not.
Yeah, you just let me speak to this a little bit before you make a decision. Today is the 17th, Thanksgiving's next week. And classification is December 7th. So I don't know if you just want to do our next meeting tax classification, or do you want to go through the stuff? Actually, I'm thinking maybe that, let's see, the first is Wednesday, so. Do you want to do December 1st, and we can do the exemptions, and we can run through some tax classification stuff if you'd like, or
What
we
day
can.
is it? What day is the first? Is that a Wednesday?
Yes.
Actually,
Okay.
we can do the exemptions after classification. So if you'd like, we can meet mid-December and have our next meeting, the tax classification hearing. If that makes sense, because we have to post the tax classification as a board meeting, Board of Assessors meeting, it's my understanding.
Past practice, Thomas, has been to have a brief meeting in your office prior to the classification meeting. If anything comes up that you want to discuss. I don't know, 10
yeah,
minutes,
I'll-
15 minutes, I don't know.
I'll defer to the chairman on that.
I like that idea, Ed. That's what I remember doing last year, then walking across the hallway for the other meeting. If they're meeting in person, I'm happy to attend in person if we need to.
Did you want to see if we could have a brief meeting
that's-
prior to the selectmen's?
I felt more comfortable doing it that way last year. I know it helped me.
Okay,
I'm thinking of being there in person. Are we going to be or not?
No, we're gonna be
No,
remote,
that's-
Mr. Cornelia.
Maybe this confuses it then. I don't know.
Yeah,
Alrighty, would it be
because I tell
possible
you
to send,
what, I'll have it, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, but I'll have everything ready for the selectmen the 7th. So if we post a meeting, just the Board of Assessors prior to December 7th, I'm not sure I'll have the final numbers. So I don't
Gotcha.
know if it'd be a waste of time for us.
well, generally you
could-
would?
You
Sorry,
could
go ahead.
post it. Okay, you could post it though, Tom, contingent upon the fact that you do have numbers that you need to present to us.
Right.
And if not, we don't have it.
And it may make more sense to meet after classification. So we can talk about the recap, signing the recap and approving exemptions and
True.
liens that we won't have until after classification, so. So I don't mean to muddy the waters, but I think an argument could be made for, and again, if we're gonna meet prior to this public hearing, then I'll have to check with town manager's office to see if there's time for us to sneak a Zoom in before the Zoom, if you know what I mean, so.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah.
Might be too much of a pain.
Right, if they're meeting the 7th, you would have to submit the materials by Friday the 3rd then, right? 48 business hours?
Yeah, I'd like to. Sooner I get them the information, the better, yeah.
Because if you're comfortable, if you wouldn't mind copying us when you send it to them, we can look at it over the weekend if any of us have a question on it.
That makes a
I just
lot of
don't
sense. That
I don't
makes
want to
a
go
lot
into
of
the meeting
sense.
cold.
Yeah,
I just don't want
because
to go in that,
it's just
I just-
informational and yeah, I like that idea.
yeah, we won't be deliberating anything, but I'd like to
Right.
see what it looks like, so I'm not reading it for the first time in front of the selectmen.
Exactly.
And then we can meet after that meeting. That makes sense to me.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Ready? So no meeting before the classification, but when possible to email it out or drop off or whatever.
Right. You'll get it.
Cool.
But we do need
So-
to have a meeting mid-December.
Do you want to
Okay.
shoot for the 15th? Put us exactly a month from today,
Yeah.
if
Yes.
that's good with the other guys.
That's fine.
Yep, that's okay.
All right,
That
why don't
would
we say
work great.
all right, 2 o'clock on the 15th.
Thank you.
And I would make a motion, we adjourn.
Seconded.
We have a motion to adjourn in a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And chair says aye. Thanks, everyone.